Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram. 23rd verse, first Valli. Shatayushah putra pautran vrunishva
Shatayushah putra pautran vrunishva
Bahun pashun hasti hiranyamashvan Bahun pashun hasti hiranyamashvan Bhumer mahadayatanam vrunishva Swayam cha jiva sharado yavadicchasi Etat-tulyam yadi manyase varam Vrunishva vittam chirajivikam cha Mahabhumau nachiketastvamedhi Kamanam tva kamabhajam karomi Ima rama saratha saturyah Nahi drusha lambhan ye kama durlabha martyaloke Sarvan kaman chandatah prarthayasva Ima rama saratha saturyah Nahi drusha lambhaniya manushyaih Abhirmat prattabhih Paricharayasva Nachiketo Maranam manuprakshih. Nachiketa has asked for his third boon, where he says, tell me that truth. Is it associated with conditionings or is it independent of conditionings? When conditionings are dropped, does something remain or is it a void? Some people say there is something which remains, asti. Some people say nothing remains. I know for sure moksha depends upon clarity of this knowledge. Therefore, Yamacharya, please teach me this highest truth. Whenever something precious is to be given, we make sure that the one who is receiving it is fit to handle it. Milk might be the best quality. If container is not good, it cannot hold the best quality milk. Like that, this teaching might be very supreme. But unless the student is ready to receive and hold it, that teaching will not help him. So Yamacharya is as though testing Nachiketa. Does he really want this Brahma Vidya? Or is he ready to settle down for something else? It is also said, Shreyamsi Bahu Vignani. Whenever we start anything auspicious, 100 obstacles come. Moment we say, I will do this chanting every day. Hanuman Chalisa, Shiva Mahimna Stotram. Moment you make that resolve, 1-2 days it works. Third day some vigna comes in a way that if we are not alert, we will drop that sankalpa. That is when Bhagavan is testing us. do we really want it? Just like Yamacharya is testing Nachiketa by giving different things and seeing whether he really wants that boon or is he ready to settle down for something else. That is his varanam. Whatever he has made a resolve, how strong it is to see that all these temptations are given. Now this little boy, Nachiketa, you know how old he was when he met Yamacharya? 9 years. Kumaragam Santam. Around that age, 7 to 9 years. He is telling Yamacharya, I have observed few facets of life. Whatever you have offered, I don't see much glitter and glamour in those things. But the beauty is, he gives a reason why he doesn't want each of those things. That is the next part, verse number 26. Shobhava martyasya yadantakaitate Shobhava martyasya yadantakaitate Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejah Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejah Api sarvam jivitamalpameva Api sarvam jivitamalpameva Tavaiva vahastava nritya gite Tavaiva vahastava nritya gite Nachiketa says, Yamacharya, whatever you offered to me, it is Shobhavaha. Shvaha means tomorrow. Bhava means present tomorrow. It can also be split as Shvaha Abhavaha. Means whether it will be there tomorrow or not, we don't know. He says all these things are so impermanent. Why would somebody exclusively ask for such a thing as the goal? Shobhavaha martyasya yadanta kaitata. Everything has to come to an end. Nothing is there which is permanent. And he says, I have looked at every single thing in this universe. I am not talking about one or two things. Nachiketa is telling, find me one thing which is going to stay forever. This in Kathopanishad is called as parikshanam, examining. Impermanence everybody sees, but not everybody gets the right perspective from seeing that impermanence. And here it is said, even impermanence doesn't give dispassion sometimes. Because what we generally think is, I will replace one impermanent thing with another impermanent thing. Example given is hunger. We all know hunger is impermanent, means satiating that hunger is impermanent. But have we gotten vairagya towards tasty food? He says, no, that is also there because you are okay with constant replacement of impermanent things. So here, along with impermanence, there is sorrow also that he is seeing. One thing we have definite vairagya towards, that is sorrow. Only impermanence, no guarantee. A person might be comfortable with replacing impermanent things with another impermanent thing. So Nachiketa is telling the first limitation, that all these things that you offered. What all things he offered? Putra, Vitta, Loka Eshana. Putra Eshana means family sukham. Vitta Eshana means wealth. Lokeshana means power, position. One thing to note here is all three sukhams, they are very distinct. You cannot replace one for another. The joy coming through family cannot be replaced by wealth and power. Joy coming through wealth cannot be replaced by family and power. Joy coming through power cannot be replaced by family and wealth. Yamacharya says, have all three. In general, if one is there, other will be missing. But because I am Satya Sankalpa, I can give all three. You just ask. But now Nachiketa is telling all those things that you offered, including Apsaras. He says that is not permanent source of joy. I mean, that word anitya has to hit within. Impermanence has to open up something in our heart which says that impermanent thing cannot be goal. And that person will know how to relate with impermanent thing. One good example is flower. We know flower is impermanent, but we use it for the right purpose. We can make a garland, adorn Bhagavan with it. One of the best use of flower, which is also impermanent. Just like that flower was used for Bhagavan's purpose, this person uses all this assemblage. Body is impermanent. Any possessions that we have is also impermanent. But he says, I will utilize all of this for Bhagavan's work. Then everything becomes meaningful. Really speaking, to understand these verses are not easy. If we disconnect it too much from our present life, it will look some idealistic view of Nachiketa, who is saying everything is impermanent. He said, we are also living in the same world with same impermanent things. So what should we do now? He says the way to not get bound by them is to use it in the right way. If I make an impermanent thing as goal of life, that is when scripture will come and say, this cannot be goal of life. That is one. Second, he says, Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejah. Nachiketa says, I have seen other people experiencing the sense objects. But after they have experienced it, they have not come back stronger. They have not come back more brighter, more brilliant. He says, one thing I have noticed, their energy is drained out after experiencing these things. So what are you offering me? As though Nachiketa is asking Yamacharya, it looks good from outside, but inside it is going to drain my energy out. Sometimes there are walls which are hollow inside. Outside it looks nice. The moment you put your hand on it, either hand will go inside or wall will fall. He says a person who is indulgent, their inner vitality is drained out. Very hollow within, externally might look very strong. Bhagavan Shankaracharya Ji helps us understand what all things are taken away from an indulgent person. Here it is said, Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejah. Only teja is mentioned. But Shankaracharya says, first thing which is taken away is dharma, righteousness. Means if that desire is very strong to indulge, this person will not hesitate to break rules. He will not hesitate to walk on the path of adharma. So first thing to go away for an indulgent person, he says, is righteousness. Second one, he says, second thing to go away is virya. Virya means courage or inner strength. That's a very interesting point. How does virya come? How does courage come? Just by living a disciplined life. devoted, disciplined life, doing our duties well. That itself brings virya. The flip side of it is indulgence. What takes away courage? That is this indulgence. So he says, look at the calamity that is coming. What are you offering me? All these things that you have offered will take away dharma. It will take away virya, inner strength. If you want to see elaboration of this, we can see in Srimad Bhagavatam. When Arjuna goes to meet Bhagavan Krishna in Dwarka, right before Bhagavan wraps up his avatar. And when he comes back, Arjuna is pale. Looking at him, Yudhishthira gives around 10-15 reasons why a person's teja is taken away. He says, did you insult a noble person? Did you do some adharma? Did you take some substance? All these things he gives. Finally he says, you are such a noble soul. You would not have done any of these things. Now tell me whether Bhagavan Krishna has wrapped up his avatar. And then Arjuna starts crying. Whatever knowledge was unclear to him in Bhagavad Gita, that knowledge became clear to him at that time. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, right after Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna entered war. So teaching he heard, but Linga Sharira Bhanga did not happen. Means his mind did not get negated. That negation came when those tears of separation were there. When he understood, he says, Vanchitoham Mahabhagah. I was deceived by Bhagavan Krishna. He lived like an ordinary person. He said, I would joke with him. I would tell him, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Sakheti. But now when he has wrapped up his avatar, now is when I realize that he was avatar. But the main point there is, what all things make a person's teja to go away. All those things are listed here only in a different way. Dharma, virya, third one is prajna. Prajna means brilliance. A person who is disciplined lives a dharmic life, devoted life. That person expresses some kind of brilliance. Indulgence is that thing which will take away that brilliance. Prajna goes away from that person. Fourth one he says is teja. Teja means the ability to not get overpowered by other person. Teja has a specific context. It has nothing to do with physical glow. Teja means apragalbhya samarthya. Pragalbhya means to get overpowered. Apragalbhya means not to get overpowered. That samarthata, that power the one who has, that is called as teja. That teja is taken away from this person. Fourth thing to go away is teja. And the last one is yashaha. Yasha means good name. Indulgent person will never have a good name. He himself will not be willing to share his indulgence, and whoever comes to know will not look at him in good eyes. Nachiketa says, what are you offering? How will people remember Nachiketa? The one who had power, the one who had all apsaras, one who had all these things. It is not a good thing to remember. So whatever you are offering me is going to take my yasha away. See, Upanishad mantra just had Sarvendriyanam Jayanti Teja. Shankaracharya says there are 4 more things along with Teja. Dharma, Virya, Prajna, Teja, Yasha. 5 things are taken away. Now he says, you offered me long life. Live as long as you want. Nachiketa says, Api sarvam jivitam alpameva. Means he is telling Yamacharya, you look at other creatures. Mosquito, for example. What is the lifespan of mosquito? 10 to 60 days. If it is 55-day-old, it's a senior mosquito. If a mosquito looks at a human being, what will it feel? Oh, human beings, they live 100 years. Such a long life. Nachiketa says, ask human beings. Do we feel our life is long? We don't feel it that way. He says, give whatever lifespan, we will never feel this is long enough. So why should I ask for that long life, having gained which this discontentment will still remain? Last line is very powerful. He says, Tavaiva vahas tava nritya gite. All this dance, damsels, chariots, O Yamacharya, please keep them with you. I don't want it. Now this is saying out of conviction, not out of arrogance. Because Yamacharya is his teacher. He will not say, Tavaiva vahas tava nritya gite. He is saying out of his own conviction that I don't want these things. Means a sadhaka should internally be convinced and externally work on internal conviction. The guiding factor in our life is Shraddha. Where does our conviction lie? Right now what we are, Bhagavan says that doesn't count much. Whatever is our conviction, that is where we are headed. So regarding all these things, the question that Upanishad is asking is, what is our understanding? What is our conviction? Nachiketa is only helping us understand how to have the right conviction. Okay, so these things, three things he pointed out. One is, they are impermanent. Second is, they will drain my energy and vitality. And third one is, after some time, it just becomes another thing. This particular long life, you give whatever you want. It loses its charm after some time. Yamacharya says, where did you learn all this? Little boy, he is telling all this. He says, I have a few more. I am not done yet. Navittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. Navittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. Lapsyamahe vittamadrakshma chetva. Lapsyamahe vittamadrakshma chetva. Jivishyamo yavadishishyasi tvam. Jivishyamo yavadishishyasi tvam. Varastu me varaniyassa eva. Varastu me varaniyassa eva. Nachiketa says, I have seen many people getting wealth, but I have not seen many people being content with what they have gotten. There is never a feeling that whatever God has blessed me is sufficient. Always some discontentment is there because of some comparison, something that we see in others. That's why in our Puranas it is depicted, Indra Bhagavan gets jealous time to time. Who is Indra Bhagavan? Whatever joys can be attained in Swarga, the king of Swargaloka. In spite of having everything, he feels jealous about something over here. So he says, why should I ask something where having gained it, that discontentment is still going to remain? He says, this is the general mindset. I am nobody different. Nachiketa is saying that, He says, I've seen around. Show me one person who says, whatever I have is sufficient. I'm not seeking anything more. Sanjata alam pratyaya. 6th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan said, who is a trupta? One in whom alam pratyaya has come. Alam means this is enough. Nothing more. He says, navittena tarpaniyo manushya. Puja Guruji explained this to a nice story. It's a short story, but it conveys the point. One day Brahma Ji said, whoever wants can come to my court. Devatas, Asuras, Manushyas, Gandharvas, come. I am distributing gold coins. Only criteria is you have to bring your container. And you have to carry your own container. You cannot bring other people to carry your container. I said, okay, Devatas brought big containers. Brahmaji had scoop gold coin. He would scoop and put it. But once it is put inside, it's heavy. You cannot lift it. So they had to take out some of it. Heavy-hearted, whatever they could take, they took. Asuras are much more powerful. They also came, big containers, put this thing and went. Then came human being. He came with a tiny container. Brahmaji was surprised. Human being, such tiny container. But on top of that container was a cloth. Small slit, but that container was covered. Brahmaji said, okay, come. Are you sure? This is your container. You cannot change it. Want a bigger one? Go and get. Human says, no, this is good. Please put. Brahmaji takes one scoop, puts it. Second scoop, puts it. Third scoop, puts it. He wonders why is this container not getting filled. Keeps on putting. Then he finds something fishy. He says, take out that cloth. Manusya says, no, Brahmaji, let that cloth be there. You keep putting on top. He says, no, this is not ordinary container. Something is there. Then go to see, it was a human head. Means whatever you put inside, it will never be content. You keep putting it. He says, that is this line, navittena tarpaniyo manushya. Whatever Upanishads say, whatever our Mahatmas say, they are just a restatement of how human mind is. It is not something they are sitting in a room and writing. Upanishad of course is revelation, but if you see Bhaja Govindam or any other text, Shankaracharya Ji is just keeping his eyes open and seeing things. Whatever he has seen, he is just writing it in words. So, navittena tarpaniyo manushya hai. They say that is the nature of human beings. Nachiketa says, why would I ask for something whose culmination is in discontentment? Next line is beautiful. Lapsya mahe vittam adrakshma chetva. Nachiketa says, from childhood, whenever I would go to grandfather's home, they would never send me empty-handed. Something they will give and send. I have come to your home. You are the Lord of Death. Do you think I will go empty-handed? He says, all this wealth that you have promised, that I am going to get anyway. Lapsya mahe vittam adrakshma chetva. Because I have seen you, all this wealth, I don't have to worry. This is the statement of a bhakta. He says, Bhagavan, first thing is, let me get you. If I get you, all bhagas that I am seeking will come along with Bhagavan. Bhaga means fortune. Van means one who has fortune. So Bhagavan means one who has all fortunes in maximum extent, at all times. And what we are seeking is one drop of that bhaga. won't go into the details of those bhagas. But the point here is, the one who gets Bhagavan doesn't have to worry about individual bhaga. So Nachiketa says, that is not my worry. All this wealth that you promised, your darshan itself is going to give me that. Another meaning is, your darshan itself is a great wealth. He says that I have already received. I don't want anything else other than this. Think of it this way. Whoever revered person we have in our life, meeting them itself is a great blessing. Having gone there, even if they promise, even if they say, take this, take that, what will we say? Just seeing you itself is the result. I don't want anything in addition to that. Same thing devotee says for the Lord. Bhagavan, if I ask something through you, what it means is I don't want you first. If I am seeking something through God, my quest is not for God. But here he says, I want God first. Rest everything you take care. Yoga and Kshema. Yoga means whatever I have to receive in life. Kshema means whatever I have received which has to stay in my life. He says both these things are at your feet. Yoga and Kshema. He is questioning Yamacharya line by line with logic. He says, you promised me long life. That long life will be there until you are in that position. Jivishyamo yavadishishasitvam. Until you are ruling, until that time, my position is secure. But if administration changes, the first person to go out will be me. Because they will say, the one who got most favor is this Nachiketa. Everybody's life is so short. This Nachiketa lived for several years. I fasted at your home. That other Yama who comes, he'll be something else. By the way, Yama is a position. It is not one person. Every Yama is not Brahma Vidya Acharya. In this particular kalpa, this particular Yama is Brahma Vidya Acharya. Just like you have president as one position, different people sit and go. That person is called president when they are sitting. Like that, Yama is a position. Indra is also a position. So he says, your position itself is impermanent. Until when will I bank upon that impermanent position? Some time will come when I have to go back to wherever I came from. Means look at the subtle thinking. He says, whatever I ask other than Brahma, everything is going to keep me in samsara. It will bring me back in samsara. While I listen to you, all these things look very attractive. Long life, this and that, so many things you offered. Power, position. But his bottom line is, they are also impermanent. Varastu me varaniyasa eva. This is my firm conviction. I don't want to change this vow. Now he says, whenever you meet some revered person, we should know what to ask. He says, I am not foolish to ask any of these things. Gurudev would give an example for this verse. He said one person, with great difficulty, he got an appointment with Prime Minister. At that time, Prime Minister was Indira Gandhi Ji. So he said, you meet the Prime Minister with great difficulty. Face to face you are sitting. After several months of appointments, you finally got. Then she asks you, what do you want? And you tell her, I've been wanting to eat okra for 1 week. It's not available in the market. Can you give me 1 kilogram of okra? He said, you met the Prime Minister and asked for okra? He said, like that, if God is in front of us and we ask for wealth, we ask for all other things that Yamacharya has offered, he says, I am not going to commit that mistake. Very precisely he says, Ajiryatam amrutanam upetya. Ajiryatam amrutanam upetya. Jiryan martyah kwadasthaf prajanan. Jiryan martyah kwadasthaf prajanan. Abhidhyayan varnarati pramodan. Abhidhyayan varnarati pramodan. Atidirghe jivite ko rameta. Atidirghe jivite ko rameta. Ajiryatam amrutanam upetya. Having attained, reached somebody who has gone beyond old age, beyond death, has become immortal. Means Yamacharya is somebody who has that knowledge. Having come to such a person, why would this mortal ask for something small? Jiryan martyah kwadasthav prajanan. That kwadastha is a nice word. Ku means Prithvi, earth. Adaha means down. Compared to higher worlds, the one who is staying down on this earth is called as kwadastha. Stha means staying. Ku plus adaha becomes kwadastha. Ku plus adaha becomes kwadaha, and stha means staying. So all our names are kwadasthas. One name for everybody. Those who are living in earth, living on earth. He says, why would this mortal, in spite of knowing the limitations, why would that person still choose such a thing? It's very interesting, Logically it makes all sense. Yeah, why would this person choose? But in spite of knowing, it can be a great struggle to choose the right thing. This is what we had seen in one of the previous texts. Puja Guruji's line, he says, we campaign for campaign for Brahman, vote for Maya. When it comes to saying what is the best, we say Brahman. Other than Brahman, there is nothing I want. But we should also remember, nobody has become a saint overnight. What we are familiar with is their perfected stage in their journey. That is why when we read Life of Saints, it's a great eye-opener, where they say, we have walked the same path, repeatedly made the right choice, and with God's grace, we crossed over. So on one hand, we have to appreciate the subtlety. At the same time, we have to appreciate how this teaching is for us. That is the whole part actually. If we only keep this to Nachiketa, right? Nachiketa was so great. He did not ask for these things. Which is good to have that reverence. But to start reflecting upon what changes I have to make in my life, such that my Varanam becomes Brahma. Rather, what choices I can change. What kind of thoughts I can change, such that my conviction becomes stronger for Brahma Vidya. That is actually the result of thinking about all these verses. Abhidhyayan varnarati pramodan. He says, who will think about all these colorful things? Varna means colorful, rati means delightful. It looks good from outside. He says, more you go closer to it, you realize this is not what it is. I think in every language they have this saying, mountains look good only from far. Nice scenery is there, such greenery is there. Moment you go inside, you realize wild animals are also there. So many other things are also there. He said that is how these bhogas are. In Kali Yuga, great blessing is we can course correct in our mind. Until that thought translates into action, the erroneous consequences of those thoughts don't come. Thank God we are not born in Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga, thought itself gives result. Thought itself gives papa punya. Kali Yuga, thought doesn't give papa. Thought gives punya. Means if we entertain good thoughts, make good sankalpas, even the thought of making something good, doing something good gives punya. But papa, unless it is translated into action, he said doesn't give papa karma. So all this is vichara pradhana. Nachiketa is just giving us pointers. Ati dirghe jivite korameta. Who is there who wants to live long life in spite of knowing these limitations? Yasmin nidam vichikitsanti mrutyo. Yasmin nidam vichikitsanti mrutyo. Yat samparaye mahati bruhinastate. Yat samparaye mahati bruhinastate. Yoyam varo gudhamanupravishtaha. Yoyam varo gudhamanupravishtaha. Nanyam tasman nachiketa vrunite. Nanyam tasman nachiketa vrunite. Again he reminds Yamacharya of the question that he asked. Yasmin idam vichikitsanti mrutyo. Hey mrutyo, idam, in this manushya loka, there is a doubt. What is that doubt? Asti iti cha eke, nayam asti iti cha eke. He says, I have not forgotten my question. Some people say there is something which exists after the conditionings are negated. And some people say nothing exists after conditionings are negated. Yat samparaye mahati bruhinastate. Samparaya means paraloka. Tell me regarding that paraloka. But here again we have to appreciate it is not Swargaloka he is asking. That loka which is beyond conditionings is called as paraloka. Samparaya means beyond this body, beyond this mind, beyond this notion that I am this person. Do I have an identity or not? Please tell me clearly about this question. Mahati means the consequences of knowing the answer to this question is Mahan. It looks like a trivial question. He says, my whole samsara, if I have to end it, that depends upon answer to this question. Not only answer, conviction in the answer. He says, this is what I am looking for. Yoyam varaha gudha manu pravishtaha. this question of mine, third boon of mine, which is very, very subtle. That is precisely why I want to know it. Don't tempt me with all these things. Na anyam varaha nachiketaha vrunite. Nachiketa does not ask for any other boon than what he has already asked. Shankaracharya adds, manasa api. Manasa api means even in his mind, he is not entertaining this thought. Did I give you all a reflection question last class? No? I thought I did. Why can't Nachiketa take all these things right now? I gave, see? Why can't Nachiketa take all these things right now and say, later on I'll worry about Vedanta? Where is Brahman going to go? Anyway, it is eternal. I can have all these things and then go and study Vedanta. Why do you think he doesn't do that? You can answer from there. If you have already thought or if you are thinking right now. Vairagyam is? May slip in future. Good. May not get audience with Yamacharya. Sorry? Takes him in a different path. All good answers. With those bhogas, whatever purity he has, that will go away. The main thing is, all are different perspectives. This spiritual quest which comes, whenever it comes, we have to act upon it. If we wait for long, there is no guarantee this quest will remain tomorrow. And if need is not there is no value to those things being around. Means even if teacher is there, even if Shastra is there, if I don't feel a need for them, then it is as though not being there. So Nachiketa says, this mind is very uncertain. Tomorrow whether it will have the same desire or not, we don't know. This is where I remember Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj. Whoever came to him with an auspicious resolve about any sadhana, he would say, you start today. If somebody comes to ask Swamiji how to do Purascharana, Gayatri Purascharana, Ishtadevata Mantra, certain million times you have to chant, and after that there are some rituals. You have to do some yajna, some fasting. Swamiji would say, all of that is my responsibility. To do yajna for you is my responsibility. You just start Purasharanam today. Because that Shubha Sankalpa, if I delay, tomorrow there is no guarantee whether I will have it or not. So Nachiketa says, no postponing. So that last line, na anyam varaha nachiketo vrunite, Shankaracharya says it is Mother Shruti who is saying this line for us. That having had this conversation, Nachiketa did not ask for anything else. Otherwise it looks little strange, Nachiketa himself saying, Nachiketa does not ask for anything else. So with this we complete the first Valli, Kathopanishad. Anything which reaches a completion is God's grace. It is said, one sign of intelligence is not to start anything. There is one Subhashita which says, intelligent person is the one who doesn't start anything. Then the second line says, another sign of intelligence is if you have started something, take it to a conclusion. Take it to a conclusion. That is our study of Shastra. We need lot of blessings from Bhagavan, Guru Parampara to study something like an Upanishad. Either we will be so afraid that we will never start, or we will start and drop in between. So Kathopanishad we have started. We have to take this resolve that with His grace we will complete all the vallis. The reason I am sharing this is, New Year, all of you take resolves. Something has to be around spirituality also. Whatever you want to take. This is what I would do as a sadhaka regarding study. Not only for the sake of completing the text, but mantras should start speaking to us. Mantra should start guiding us. That is our prayer. Now there will be announcements. All of you can do Hari Om right from there. Please don't come in the front after. I'll be traveling, so I have to leave while they are doing the announcements. So those who are announcing also should not feel bad. Those who are here also, please don't come in the front. We'll meet in January. Next Sunday, we have a session here. Jignesh Bhai and Sukanya Ji, both of them, they'll give more details about how this will be done. Very good recap of the whole Valli that we have done. Anything today, Jignesh Bhai, or you'll communicate via email? Email, okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.